So this wasn't a video that I was planning on doing, but then my guest star here, Matt Dennion, author of Atomic Rex and multiple other books, got Writer of the Month this year. Congratulations, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah, for Raventail, highlighting me as Writer of the Month. We did do very well with the newest book, Atomic Rex, Big in Japan, that I did with Alan O.W. Barnes. So please go to Raventail and check that out. You can find all my work on Amazon, too.
Yeah. But Matt dropped this video on a little page him and a few other writers are a part of, and I was just in line at McDonald's getting this. I was like, holy shit. And then Matt, messaged me, hey, do you want to do a video on it? I was like, hell yeah, I love talking to you, Matt. Let's do this video. And we're going to be talking about, not only the news of the new wave of Godzilla characters that are going to show up in Gigbash, but also, other franchises and what characters we'd like from them to show up in Gigbash.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped, man. We got the new trailer. Hopefully everybody's seen it. It looks like it's coming on May 16th, I believe. And at a weird time, they have it listed as 20 PT, so I guess Pacific time and military time, which would be around 8 p.m. on the 16th for those in the Pacific time frame, and then for us in the Eastern time frame would be around 11, and you can do the math for in between. But I'm super excited. Gigabash is such a fun game. Very much a throwback to the Godzilla Save the Earth games. It's just a fighting game, but you can also do a co-op and play with your friends in a straight up waves of monsters just keep coming at you. They have really fun original characters too. I don't want to overlook that. They do have really fun original characters. But we've already got one Godzilla DLC, which included predominantly the Heisei Godzilla with a little bit of Showa thrown in there, along with Gigan, Destroyer, and Kiru. And then we also got an Ultraman DLC, which was super fun too, right?
Yeah, that one was the surprise. The Godzilla one, it was the usual suspects, right? Although I will say that you thought you were going to get Mothra and Ghidorah, we got it. Like you said, it was predominantly Heisei and Showa. Gigan got in because it was his 50th anniversary, and that'll kind of cycle into who I think is going to get in as well. But yeah, the Ultraman one was a big surprise. Ultraman and Baltan, I was yeah, those are the usual suspects. But then Taiga and and what's her name?
Trying to pull it up, should do my homework quicker. Basically, the female villain from Taiga. It's the name eludes me right this moment.
Yeah,
but really surprised me with that one. But it was cool picks, especially Taiga is very popular in the Ultraman franchise. So I was really happy to see that those four got in. But we do have a new Godzilla 4-pack coming out, and the trailer, to me, screams King Ghidorah. I mean, aside from being one of the more popular characters, you've got 3 streaks of look like yellow lightning or perhaps gravity beams coming down from the sky, right?
Yeah. So, Ghidorah is Godzilla's arch nemesis. He's one of the most popular kaiju. He's my favorite of the Godzilla monsters. So, to have him here makes a lot of sense. 1, he's a very popular, well-known kaiju. 2, it's his 60th anniversary this year.
Yes. Yeah, so I think, did you point out Gigan came out during anniversary year for him, too? So I think for Ghidorah, this is definitely going to happen.
Yeah. So Ghidorah, I think, is a lock. It's the other 3 that we have to figure out.
Which we have some speculation about. So, right off the bat, it says Godzilla DLC. So do you think we're going to be getting a second Godzilla variant in this pack?
I think that's a strong possibility. It could be. I think it'll be a Reiwa era Godzilla. So it'll either be Singular Point, Shin, or -1.
Those all make sense to me, and they would all be separate enough from predominantly the Heisei Godzilla to appear differently. I think both Shin and -1 give you different attacks that you wouldn't have. I love Singular Point. the attacks wouldn't be so different from the Heisei Godzilla, right? Like in terms of what he does. Shin gives you a lot. Shin would be the one I probably put my money on. It's very popular, both here and in Japan. You can do a range of different attacks, like the lasers coming out of the spikes, coming out of the tail. You could have him perhaps go through different stages, which would be really cool. You could do similar stuff with Singular Point. And while I love Singular Point, it's not as popular as Shin. So I would probably bet Shin. What do you think?
I'm going to say Shin as well. I think -1 is would be the second runner because of the such a popularity to him. It's just that they'd have to make him bigger.
Yeah, which shouldn't be a problem. Like if you look at the official heights of the Gigabash monsters, they're really like in that Showa Singular Point range, even though clearly like Destroyer's never been anything but Heisei, so they just kind of make them all the same size and roll with it. It's not like, that big a deal. So they could make Singular Point bigger. But again, I don't think he visually look that different from the Heisei one, whereas Shin would.
Yeah.
The other outside possibility, excuse me, I'm fighting allergies. The other outside possibility, Zilla. Do you think there's any kind of a shot? It's a deep cut, but we got deep cuts with Ultraman. So what do you think?
I think Zilla, as much as I'd like to see it, I don't think anyone's going to want Zilla, even though I think the fandom has kind of lightened their grip on him, like their hatred on him. Like, it's still not a good movie. It's still not a good Godzilla movie, but and Andres always told me this whenever we talked, is that it's a horrible, horrible Godzilla movie, but it's a great creature feature movie.
I agree with that, yeah. So, but yeah, I think the long shot, I think Shin is the most likely. You would agree with that? You think if you had to put money on it?
I think it's a wild card, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think he's a unique enough monster, like tunneling, and maybe you give him like the green fire, like in the animated series. If there was animated series Zilla, people would be totally fine with it.
Right. But I still think Shin has a better chance than Zilla does.
Yeah, I think Shin is our front runner. If they're going to do another Godzilla, Shin is the front runner.
I would totally agree with that. What do you think about the other picks? So let's say we've got King Ghidorah, possibly a Godzilla variant. You got 2 more picks likely. What are you thinking? My
2 picks are Showa Mechagodzilla, because it's his 50th anniversary, and again, they love their robots.
Right.
And Showa Mechagodzilla is so different from Kiryu that you can do so many cool variations with his attacks. And my other pick is Hedorah.
Both very good picks, I think. So you're going Showa there too with both of them, then, right? I mean, there is like the Millennium Hedorah, but pretty much the same. So I put a lot of thought into picks. There's a couple, I think. I'll give you some possibilities and then try and narrow it down to my 2. One that springs to mind, as you said, they love their mechs. He just appeared in the Godzilla Day short from this last year, and we know he's going to appear with Godzilla again in this year's Godzilla Day short to fight King Ghidorah's Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar, I think, is a strong possibility. He's such a well-loved character, and also that he has such like a great variation of like shrinking, getting big, and using that to your advantage, and flight, I think, and also he's a great grappler character, so...
I think the only downside is you already have Ultraman, Ultra 7, Camarilla, by the way, is like the female Ultraman, I just had to look it up, and Gigaman. Is it too much alike to put Jet Jaguar in here with those characters?
Yeah, that's the one thing, but I think they could make Jet Jaguar enough of a variant to make it work.
All right, yeah, I agree with you. I think it's still very possible that he makes it in. Plus, like you said, a lot of stuff lines up for him to make it in. I also think a good shot is Anguirus. I mean, I'm a fan of Anguirus, obviously, but he's kind of like Godzilla's buddy and sidekick, popular in the fandom. They do have 9 bipedal characters in Gigabash, like the concrete and the snail character. So I think he has a shot. What do you think? I think
that's a possibility. He's popular enough. I think like if you give him, like, it would be really fun if they gave him a lot of attacks like he got in Save the Earth, like a sonic roar. or you know, he
Yes.
could roll into a ball. I think it would be really cool if like if they could do I forget. Does Gigabash do tag team?
You can do co-op, but it's not necessarily the like you can't like jump on somebody and use them. However, they do have. I think they could use the Wooly character and kind of repurpose some of those attacks for Angerus. Like he's got turn into a ball of snow and roll around, so that would work out for Angerus to work in like there's an armadillo attack where he rolls around. He has like a suction breath that can suck you in, which Angerus wouldn't do, but I feel like the visuals of it could just be reversed to do the sonic roar like you had said. So I do think there's a lot they could do with his attacks that would make him fun, and he's a popular character.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be really cool if you could do like a tag team or co-op. Is like if you're playing Angerus, you can have your friend pick you up and use you like a fucking mace. On the other,
that would be cool.
Just a great reference to Rulers of Earth.
Yes, yeah.
That would be, I think. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish up.
No, I was done.
I was going to say, I think Megalon has an outside shot, and I believe you feel the same, right?
Yeah, I think Megalon has an outside shot, but you did mention that there was a character who is so similar to Megalon, it's like, why put him in the game?
Yeah, they've got the PP Jurash character, I'm probably missing that, or Pippa Jurash, but very similar to Megalon in terms of like his look and playstyle, but that doesn't mean they won't, again, sort of repurpose that character with some variations to make him Megalon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think another outlier is King Caesar.
I agree with that. They don't have a whole lot of mammalian characters in the game. He would be a nice addition to it, so I think he's got a shot too.
And he did show up in... It's also his 50th anniversary.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I would say there's a decent chance he's got a shot.
Yeah. I just want him to use Showa design. No harm against... I mean, no foul against the Millennium design, but like, come on, it's his 50th... Go with the original Showa design. And also, I think just using that beam repel weapon he has... Oh, excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. But as I was saying, I think that would be a really cool, unique weapon to use as the beam repel that Caesar has. And also, we don't have a lot of like major like grapplers in Gigabash, so I think King Caesar, who's a very hand-to-hand combat character, would be... I think he'd be great.
I agree. So if you had to make your final four, who are you picking? Who's your picks to be in?
My 4 picks are going to be Ghidorah. I think that's the obvious.
I think it's a lock.
Yeah. Showa Mecha Godzilla. Hedorah, and because now that I'm talked into it, like the more I think about it, King Caesar.
Okay. I'm gonna go King Ghidorah. I think he's a lock. I mean, they teased him already at this point. I do think they're gonna do another Godzilla variant because they're calling it Godzilla DLC 2. So I'm gonna go with Shin. Then I still think on anniversary Jaguar, and you know what? I've been talking to King Caesar. I want to go King Caesar too.
All right. I will say that I'm curious as to which Ghidorah they're going to use. Are they going to use Showa, Heisei, Mecha, even like Kaiser? Like Kaiser Ghidorah is on the table.
Kaiser Ghidorah is on the table. I think most likely we'll get basically the Showa version is probably the most popular version. Kaiser looks kind of ratty, I think, in the movie sometimes. So I think we'll probably get Showa, maybe Mecha, but I feel like if that was the case, the tease would have shown us one blue beam coming down that they gave us.
Yeah. You know, it would be kind of crazy for his final for like his big move, like his big finishing move. He turns into Void Ghidorah.
That would be kind of cool if they were to do something like that. That would be pretty cool.
That's the one good thing out of those goddamn anime trilogy movies.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
But yeah, those are the picks we have. You've talked about a lot of like other characters you'd like to see. So is there any like franchises you want to see next?
Yeah, several spring to mind. First and foremost, Power Rangers. I'm like kind of shocked we haven't seen them yet. I guess with the sale to Hasbro, it might take a little bit of working out. But Power Rangers obviously just screams to me. They're popular enough. You can put them in here. It would be a huge hit with the fan base. Plenty to draw from in there. I personally would go. I think you got to go Megazord and Dragonzord in terms of popularity. Likely Goldar. I know it like often skews more Mighty Morphin, but that's what people know. So probably I'd go Scorpina from there. What would you think? You think Power Rangers would be a good fit?
I think Power Rangers is a great fit. It'd be nice to have some new mechas. My picks are going to be Dragonzord. You got to have Dragonzord. There's no.
Have them. Yeah.
You got to have Dragonzord.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Lokar for a
That'd
deep
be an interesting one.
For a deep cut.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Pyramidas.
Good one. Okay.
Yeah, Pyramidas to show some Zeo love. And the Lightspeed Rescue Megazord.
I like it.
See, I want to give like love to all the eras. Like I know Mighty Morphin's the big one, and Hasbro knows it's the big one. But come on, there's gold in them Nar Hills.
Oh no, I totally agree with you. There's a lot better series than Mighty Morphin. And then like with Ultraman, they gave us some deep cuts, so you can't rule it out, right?
Yeah.
Another franchise I think that lends itself well. The Monsterverse, I would assume, would be separate from what their deal with Toho. I mean, Kong obviously would be very popular if you put him in there. I do think, even though the moveset would be similar, you could put the Monsterverse Godzilla in there and have him look different. I feel like fans would eat up the chance to have the Monsterverse Godzilla take on the Heisei Godzilla or any other Godzilla.
Yeah, especially now that he's you can use the evolved variant now.
Yes, yeah, I would use the evolved variant at this point for sure. Shimo, I think, would be a very nice addition at this point as like a really big character. Plus, other than nice compliment to Wooly with like a freeze attack would be pretty cool. And then I might go Muto, which could complement the snail character, just to give us something different there too.
Male or female Muto?
The female.
Okay, just like a big frickin' brawler.
Like, what do you think? Monsterverse, yay or nay? And
Monsterverse, yay. And my picks would also be Kong and Godzilla. You gotta have those two.
Right.
But the other two I would have, since we haven't gotten him yet in the Toho, at least as far as we know, we haven't gotten him in Toho. Monsterverse Rodan.
Yeah.
And Scar King.
Scar King came to mind for me too, actually. He was just on the outside for me, but I think he would be a fantastic pick.
And I know people are going to say... I'm sorry to interrupt, dude.
Yep.
I think he's... like, people are going to say it's another big monkey. You already have Kong. But the thing is that whip makes it different. Like
totally agree, dude. Yes.
He's way more agile. He's got the whip.
Yes.
Yeah. So, that's why I think Scar King could totally work.
No, I agree. You could even have, if you didn't have Shimo, have his beam attack be calling Shimo, who kind of comes up from the ground and does an ice blast. Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
I was going to say Gamera, right? Everybody wants Gamera in there.
I've been begging for Gamera.
Yeah, you've already got Godzilla and Ultraman. You need the third of that trinity from Japan, right?
Yeah. So which Gamera would you want to use? Heisei or Showa Gamera? Or Rebirth Gamera?
I would go Heisei. I mean, I just love Heisei, so I would go Heisei Gamera. I'd go very heavy Heisei. I'd also put Iris in there, and I would put Legion in there. I think they would both be great characters. And then probably Gas, you got to go Gas, whatever, in there too, right? As like his probably most well-known villain.
Yeah. See, that's just exactly my list. Is Heisei, Gamera, Iris, Legion, and Gauss.
Yeah.
Just have the entire Heisei. Just give him the Heisei design. Boom. Like that's your list. Although, like they would probably want to mix it up a little and probably give. I would say if they wanted to, as an outlier, I would say from the Showa era, I would say Jiger.
Yes, if you wanted to do that, I'd be fine with Jiger bumping off. Giles is probably hard to do. Same with Ferdinand, because we haven't seen like a pure flying winged character in Gigbash yet, so I could see like Jiger taking that spot. Another franchise, Pacific Rim, screams to me to be in there. I think fans would go nuts if you could have, again, the Pacific Rim mechs fighting Godzilla and his monsters. Would be a ton of fun. We know Gigbash loves the mechs. What do you think? Pacific Rim?
Pacific Rim, yeah. I think like there's enough of that fandom love, especially for the first movie and Black,
Yes.
that you can overlook how bad Uprising did. So I will say for my picks, if we got Pacific Rim, Gypsy Danger, obvious.
Yes.
Crimson Typhoon.
Good pick.
That was the name, right? Crimson Typhoon?
Yeah, Crimson Typhoon, great pick.
Crimson Typhoon, Knifehead, and Utachi.
Those are good picks. I would definitely go Gypsy Danger, Crimson Typhoon. I do like Knifehead, actually. I do love Utachi. I'm tempted, though, to put, believe it or not, Boy in there from the Black. What do you think?
That's a good one. That would be a great reference to Black. I would even say Leatherback would be cool.
Leatherback would be cool. And they have the ogre-type character that they could build that from. So I think that's a good chance. The Goro Gong character would be like you can build either Boy or Leatherback off of that character. So
yeah, totally. I think
another
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, see, another franchise I know we've talked about before. I think it's a perfect fit. Would be Rampage.
Rampage, like again, it's a franchise. Like since I love the movie,
I do too.
I've been saying it. Even though I don't like those movies, throw in the Meg and Rampage into the MonsterVerse.
I'm 1,000% in with that. But for this game, I really think you could do Rampage, and I think you can go either way. You could go with the movie type monsters or the traditional, more cartoony ones. What do you think?
I think for the fun of it, do the original cartoony version.
I agree. I think it'd be more fun. It'd also be easier to implement because they're all basically bipedal crawlers for the most part. Obviously, you'd go Ralph, George, and Lizzie, and probably Rat the Rat to round out a 4.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. I would say instead of Rhett, I would go. Oh, what was the hippo's name?
Oh, another deep cut. Yeah, I don't even know, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think those would be really good. I would also love, like, as a cool power up, you'd see like there would be like a little woman in a red dress. You eat that person, you get health back.
Yes, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah. Now another video game franchise that we've been begging to come back in some form, and if they release this, everyone will go nuts. Primal Rage.
A fantastic idea. Primal Rage would be great in here. A huge throwback. Fans would go nuts. Who would you go with? What's your 4?
My 4 picks are Chaos, Armagon, Vertigo, and Diablo.
Good picks. Vertigo and Diablo. Man, no Blizzard. Like I'm trying to decide if I want Chaos or Blizzard in there.
Chaos, because he'd be so much fun. Like you could use, like his super move could be the P attack.
I agree. He would be fun. He's like the joke character, which would be fun. Also, Blizzard and Wooly would have a lot of similarity. It'd be like the Giga Man and Ultraman comparison. Let me throw another one out there. This is interesting because I did have this done as a for my daughter who loves to play both games with me. So both co-op, and the site for the official site for this game reposted the artwork I had done. Dawn of the Monsters. My only thing is, like, you get a lot of doubles in where Megadon is basically Godzilla, and the other characters are kind of stand-ins for characters that are already in Gigbash. But I think it'd be tremendous cross-promotion.
Yeah, I've never heard of that game, so I couldn't tell you.
Dawn of the Monsters is great. It's a beat-em-up game, like Streets of Rage, Battletoads type thing, but you get 4 different monsters to go through the levels with. It's a ton of fun.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to have to check that out now.
Yeah, well, there you go. Shout out to Dawn of the Monsters. Really fun game. And you can do it in co-op again. It's like, imagine Streets of Rage just with Kaiju. I
dig that idea. Awesome.
Yeah.
What about, like, is there some, like, what about Attack on Titan?
I do think Attack on Titan would be really popular here. I could see that happening if they reach out to the right people with that. I mean, you could go Eren Yeager, obviously, Colossal Titan, Armored Titan, And who else? Female Titan, maybe?
I was gonna say the Beast Titan.
Beast. Okay, good one. Good one. Yeah. No, I could definitely see Attack on Titan making it in here. And I think, again, hugely popular franchise, so I can see that happening.
Yeah, even though the show has ended, it's still got a massive fan base. So I think if you do, and they still love doing cross promotion with Attack on Titan. Like, I remember there was a Hello Kitty Attack on Titan cross promotion.
Yeah, I could definitely see it happening. Why not? Why not go for it?
Yeah. I think that would be a really good one. Have you seen Kaiju number 8?
I have not yet, but I'm aware of it. I could definitely see Kaiju number 8 being in there, though.
Yeah, I think that's a solid one that could get in. I think that might actually happen.
Yeah, I think the cross promotion will be good for currently. Different designs for the characters. I can see it definitely making it in. And it seems like these guys at Gigbash obviously have some ability to make connections, right? They got Tsuburaya and Toho, so...
Yeah. Now, one I would really love to see, but I don't know how they could do it, because I don't know where the rights stand. Big O.
Big O would be very cool. But yeah, I'm not sure where the rights are. Voltron?
Voltron would be really good. I think there's enough fan base for Voltron. Would be really good. Have, obviously, Voltron, and the 3 Row Beast.
Right. You can have the, what's like the Space Voltron too, the secondary Voltron?
Oh, the stupid Cars one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd go with that one, but they could. Any other franchises come to mind?
Evangelion.
Evangelion makes a ton of sense, actually. Yes, go with like 2 Evas and 2 Angels, probably.
Yeah. My picks would be Eva Unit 1 and 2. I think those are the 2 obvious. Sachiel. Yeah, Sachiel the Angel. Okay. And I forget the other Angel's name who's hung on the cross.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if they do that, though, in the West, because of the cross.
Yeah, but I think that like, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I'd be in for it. Doesn't matter to me at all. But I would wonder about that one. But yeah, also a very good pick there. Yeah, I can't think of too many others that scream to me to be in there. I feel like you can maybe make a case for DC, but they're not really known for kaiju. If you start off with like the Batmech that we've seen in an animated movie, and now like a variant of it in a comic, anytime you put Batman into something, it's popular. Then you could build around there maybe. Swamp Thing can go kaiju size.
Titano
can, but not popular enough, right? I think it's hard to build up a 4 there.
Well, I think you could do Titano.
Titano would be a good pick, especially if you don't have Kong in there yet, or if you don't have George from Rampage. That would be a very solid pick. Giganta would be a good pick too.
Yeah, Marvel I think has some good monsters too. Like it'd be, but no one's gonna outside of Fin Fang Fooms, no one's gonna give a fuck about them. That's the problem.
No, it sucks, and plus Disney does not seem to play well with others. I'd love to see it happen, but I can't see him doing it. Although, man, how sweet would it be if Leo Pardon was in there?
That would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd be 1,000% on board for that.
That would be so cool. Yeah, there's just so many. But I think we've gone through most of the major ones.
The only one I can think of is Mazinger Z, maybe?
Mazinger Z, yeah, that's another one. I just don't know if it has enough popular other characters that are big enough to join.
Right.
Transformers.
Transformers would be cool, especially if you were to pick the right ones. Like Optimus would be too small, but you could go like a Devastator. Obviously, someone really big like Tricticon or Metroplex would be cool. Mega Supreme. Like there is enough there to pull from where Transformers is popular enough to do it, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of the combiners. I think my 4 would be Devastator, Bruticus, Metroplex, and Omega Supreme.
That would be a good 4. That would be a very good 4.
Yeah. So.
All right, well, we'll see. One thing I can say though, they did a tremendous job with the Ultraman build-up. Gigbash does a great job with like weekly teases for which characters they're going to give us.
Yeah. Like, I think we were all, like, scratching our heads as to, like, when they were doing the first Godzilla wave, it was like, I got no idea. Like, they kept us in the dark. The Ultramans were easier to pick.
Yes, yeah. I feel like this one, I think we can both agree, 3 golden bolts of lightning coming from the sky is a pretty good King Ghidorah tease, right?
Yeah.
And then we just have to keep our eyes peeled. But they did great with the Ultraman one. Like where they showed the invisible pyramid to tease Taiga was fantastic.
That was like, ooh, we're going deep cut here.
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of set the fan base out to like, wow, is that what I think it is? So I'll be interested to see what they do for their teases. And if they're looking at May 16th, we're about 3 weeks out. So if we assume that the initial teaser was a King Ghidorah, we can kind of look forward to one each week probably between now and the release date.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let me throw something completely off the wall, which I'm 99.9% sure would not be the case. The day that DLC releases is also the date of the next Godzilla Power Rangers 2 with Psycho King Ghidorah in it. Coincidence most likely, right?
Right.
I mean, there's not an outside shot we get a variant of a Psycho King Ghidorah, right? Because it'd be a super deep cut and I'd go nuts, but I can't imagine it could take a lot of licensing issues.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do... it would be cool, but I don't think that's going to happen because that just came out and they wouldn't have the character design ready by then.
I didn't think so either, but just throwing it out there for fun speculation.
I still think it'd be a great toy.
I'm 1,000% with you on that, and cannot wait to buy it and put it next to my Green Ranger shredder.
I think like Bandai and Hasbro need to get on that.
And it is printing money for them if they do. There's no question about it.
Yeah, but knowing our luck, it'd be like a Godzilla store or like RangerCon or like Ranger Station exclusive.
Oh yes, or just paying several $100s for it, no doubt. But it would be cool, and I'd be in for it. Anyway, Tyler, thank you for jumping on to talk about this with me. Gigbash is a ton of fun, and it's both something we're excited about. I am really looking forward to this new Godzilla DLC set. What do you think? I'm
hyped, and I'm ready for the future for Gigbash.
I think it's just going to keep going at this point, right? It's going to be like a Brawlhalla, you think, and just keep adding characters on?
Yeah, I totally believe that. It's going to be like Dead by Dawn, like Dead by Daylight, or
good comparison, right?
Yeah, where it's just we're gonna see more guest characters show up every so often. It's just now, who's in?
Who's in? Yeah. Do you think they'll still do more original characters?
I think they will. I think they'll keep the like Dead by Daylight does. They'll throw out guest characters, then throw out a new original character, then more guest characters. But yeah.
I'll let you know if they reach out to me about an Atomic Rex DLC pack, although I'm not holding my breath.
Dude, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, you guys tell us in the comments below, who would you want in Gigabash? And who do you think are the next 4 Godzilla monsters for Gigabash? Just comment below, let us know. Matt, thank you once again for joining me on this video.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. I always have a good time talking with you.
All right. Yeah. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.